Now, I know I'm not coming at y'all with any new info. The NFC East has been trash for a little while now. How can I say that when the Eagles were in the Super Bowl a couple years ago, you ask? Because that blowout in the playoffs by the Cowboys set the division back by at least a decade. But he was out there like Anthony Davis throwing absolute dimes to number 23. He fakes left, he goes right, into the defense's hands with a pick. And another pick. And since we are talking about disappointments, let's bring the Eagles back into the convo with that sorry-ass second half to the season. Most people don't realize that the reason A.J. Brown got so mad at Hurts in this clip is because Jalen was stuck in a perpetual cycle of listing every single rapper Instagram caption he could think of. I swear, bro is like Groot with these whack one-liners.
I carry my scars with me everywhere I go. I don't forget. I had a purpose before everybody had an opinion. You look at the result and say, you know what it is, it's about really the process.
Oh, hell no. What are you even on about, bro? You just let the blackest white man in the NFL cook your squad, and the best you have is a line you got from a fortune cookie? Please, Jalen, do not become the next Mr. Unlimited. I am begging you.
His name's Mr. Unlimited. Yeah.
Now, I'm just kind of messing around. I believe in Hurts and the Eagles, but there's just no way around how disappointing their season was after that Super Bowl appearance. Guess you wouldn't necessarily say them boys were disappointing because everyone and their mom knew they were going to sell in the playoffs no matter what. And looking at the other two, yikes. Giants and Commanders are both like that one cousin that pulls up to the family function with like cat ears on and spend the whole time licking furniture, putting an absolute blemish on the family name of this division. I already talked my opinion of Daniel Jones and how ridiculous his contract is, so the Commanders are not getting left out of this combo. Dan Quinn?
I want to hand it over to our new head coach, Dan Quinn.
All right.
You hold the number 2 pick in the draft and get the chance to reset your future with a young quarterback with limitless potential, and you chose Dan Quinn to be the leader of that program. Aight, buddy. I hope this aggressive defense with headliner edge rushers by the names of Dante Fowler Jr. and Dorrance Armstrong works while either Drake May or Jaden Daniels are getting sacked 17 times a game. According to Dan Quinn's opening press conference, it does seem like he's playing more of an overseer role and is letting the current coordinators call the plays, but I'm not feeling confident in that as well. Let's bring it back to the boys one more time and check out all the moves that they made in free agency. Nah, I'm off then. I'll run my head through a wall if I have to look at anything else Jerry Jones has played a hand in. That stingy old head ass. Now, there's talks of Dak Prescott getting another deal that isn't worth his value. They also need to give some other players on the team contracts, such as Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, Jair Alexander. I know he isn't on the roster, but Dak seemingly has no problem hitting him across the middle in all the biggest moments, so let's give him a cut too while we're at it. I have no idea how the season is going to go for the Cowboys, but I'm 90% sure it's going to look the exact same as every other season. As for the Eagles, they just have to be better. You give Hurts that contract just for him and the team to flop 2 years in a row, there are major issues that need resolved. I was on board with getting rid of Nick Sirianni. Bro took one trip to the Super Bowl, and after that, the only trips he took were on vacation. I swear he was just not there at all. Sirianni became a complete wallflower after Brock Purdy transferred his Mr. Irrelevant tag to him. So we have two teams at NFC East with borderline elite rosters that lose in big moments due to high school level play calling. Then we got two other teams that have high school level rosters and high school level play calling. This division is doomed. The most annoying thing about it is literally all four of these teams have incredible opportunities to make huge moves and really get better. I just don't trust the front offices. Yeah, the Commanders made a lot of signings in free agency, that's correct. They did in fact go to a retiring home to sign Bobby Wagner and Austin Eckler. With all that being said, the Commanders and Giants both have top-end picks and will likely get to choose a top-end QB in this class. The Giants will probably have to trade up from the 6th spot to get to 4 or wherever. The Patriots want to trade back to 3. Even then, they're still getting, the 3rd or 4th best quarterback in the class potentially. The Commanders are holding that number 2 spot solidly, and although they are going to miss out on Caleb Williams, they'll get to pick either between Drake May and Jaden Daniels. I've argued that Drake May is the better pick, but honestly, I don't care too much at this point. After going all over their film, I just had my quarterback tier rankings, and you can see they're in the same tier. It doesn't really matter too much who they pick between those two guys, but it will matter what they do with their play calling and their schematics and how garbage the rest of the team is around them. I mean, listen, I know they need a quarterback and they want to get some weapons and an offensive line for that quarterback, But they really just have like no edge rushers. Like I think Dorrance Armstrong is solid, but he is easily like a number 3 or 4 guy on any defensive line. And Dante Fowler Jr., I remember this bro from Madden Mobile days. I'm not willing to bet on him at all. The Giants have a ton of moves to make also, not just at quarterback. They need a big receiver. They need to fix their offensive line even more. Their defense is kind of trash. Okay, that that was talking a little off the cuff because they did just bring my boy Brian Burns in, and I suspect he'll do fine there. But not a lot of great looks on the entirety of their defense overall, and they also lost some talent in free agency there. I would say that out of all 4 coaches, Brian Daboll is probably the best of them, but last season kind of proved he might not be an elite head coach. His first season with the Giants was great, and he took Daniel Jones to the playoffs. And then after that, things just kind of fell apart this season. He's got another shot. I think he can get it done. If we're looking at all 4 of these guys on a list, he's number 1. And like I said with Nick Sirianni, if they are going to roll with him, we got to make some changes to the locker room vibe, because this is just not going to do it anymore. Look how mopey everyone is all the time. Your star receiver is supposed to be your biggest problem in the locker room, not the only one that's trying to bring the locker room together. Why is AJ Brown planning all of these trips and getaways for the team?
You gonna make it burn!
But again, I do digress. The Cowboys and Eagles still do have really great rosters despite not making the biggest moves in free agency. The Eagles are probably in spot to have one of the best rosters in the league again, just through free agency and the guys that they've maintained. It's definitely going to require Jalen Hurts to step it up though. The play calling is going to have to get much better. And the Cowboys, man, they not doing anything in free agency. You know Skip Bayless, I'll quote him here, all in my ass, bro. So yeah, I'm not really sure how I'm feeling about this group of rosters and coaches going into this next season in 2024 in the NFC East, but man, they really are able to bring it all together and have a great year. All 4 of these teams very well could. Giants and the Commanders hit on their rookies. They could be looking nice, and the Eagles and Cowboys just need to not Eagle and Cowboy the place up. Hopefully the entirety of this division can turn around its disappointing tack and just get better, because I am sick of it.